Hey Internet, Jesse at Ish Guitars here with one of our best customers, Mike, and we are here today to find out the difference in a player's hands, the SE Silver Sky, which is $849, and the very formidable Fender Players Series Stratocaster, also $849. So what we're going to do is we're going to blindfold Mike with this Ish beanie and play both guitars back to back and see which one you like.
As long as that's what we're doing while I'm blindfolded, so I haven't updated my life insurance policy.
Yeah,
yet,
make sure you leave your credit card out here too for us really quick. So
sure.
So all right, so pull your hat down over your eyes there.
All right, here we go.
Here, flip the top down so you definitely can't see.
All right.
There you go. All right, now you look like now you look like you're gonna rob a bank.
That's right.
With the Ish logo on your face. All right, now Jay, mix the two guitars up there and pick, doesn't matter, whichever one you want.
Yeah, shuffle them up.
Yeah, give us a good shuffle. All right, good choice. All right, now Mike, do you own a PRS or a Fender now?
I do not.
Neither?
No.
Do you own a Silver Sky?
I do not.
Nothing?
No.
Okay, so this is very authentic.
Yes, it is.
Volume all the way up?
Yeah, volume all the way up. Cool. And so give us there's the guitar.
Okay.
Now give us some licks, just whatever your favorite. Now, how is playing blindfolded?
It is insightful.
All right, let's switch these guitars.
All right.
Jay's going to come for you.
Thank you, sir. How about a big hand for Jay? Assisting. Ladies and gentlemen, don't forget to tip your bartenders.
All right, now here's the other guitar.
Okay.
Same pickup position.
Yeah, as you can tell, I can't play this one as good blind as I did the other one.
All right, Jay, grab it from him.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, so
Yeah.
which guitar do you think was the PRS? Number 1 or number 2?
I'm going to say number 2.
Okay, you think number 2 is the PRS, so you think number 1 was the Fender.
I do. Yes.
And you can take your mask off now.
With my hat.
And you are incorrect!
Am I really?
Yes!
Wow.
Yeah, so funny, because previous to this, Mike was like, oh, I'm gonna know which one it is because one's got a maple board and one's got a rosewood board.
That's right. Yeah.
And you were wrong.
I was wrong.
So
but I tell you, I played better on that first one.
I could tell right off the bat. Yeah, you did. It was natural.
Yeah.
Now, we actually set up both guitars right before this, so they were at about similar spec, so that it was a fair fight, ideally. Let's start with...
Same gauge strings?
Yes, they are.
Yeah.
So, playing feel-wise,
Yeah.
which one felt better to you?
Number 1.
Which was the PRS?
The PRS did.
Interesting.
Yep.
Anything specific reason why?
It just felt smoother. I felt a little more comfortable. I think with the rosewood fretboard is what did it.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yep.
Okay. And with the sound of the two of them, was there one that you stood out to you as just liking more?
I'd have to say number one, because the Fender, although, you know, they have great quality guitars, you know, it sounds a little more poppy to me. You know, a little more tenor on it.
Right, a little more treble on the
treble
Fender.
on it than I like, yeah.
Yeah, interesting. Because in one of our previous video where we have our giveaway instructions, by the way, for the SE Silver Sky, that one we compared it to a USA Silver Sky, and sort of similar actually thing is the SE Silver Sky was a little bit darker in a good way, whereas a little more rolled off on the top and a little bit like juicier, I guess you could say, syruppier versus being a little more brittle on the top.
Yeah, the Fender was a little more brighter.
Interesting.
You know, in my humble opinion.
So if you had to bring one home, which you said today that you only have an acoustic and you want to get an electric, based only on your brief blindfold test, which guitar would it be?
It would probably be the Silver Sky.
Very interesting.
Yeah.
Very interesting. Alrighty then. Do we have our gift for Mike?
Don't forget the case.
Yeah, really. So Mike already got part of his gift, which is on his head, but otherwise we have some nice PRS strings in here, Ish lanyard, and also very excitingly one of our Ish handmade in-house silent jacks, so it won't pop. When you open it, you can see in the description below how to buy one of these. And that is all for you. Thanks for coming.
These are awesome, let me tell you. Thank you so much.
There you go.
Appreciate it.
Thanks, Mike. Thanks for coming in.
You betcha.
All right, so now just to be super scientific, we have local artist Dylan Lundgren here, assuming I said your last name right.
Surprisingly, you did. I know, us Swedes have interesting last names.
And we're going to do the exact same thing again. So, AJ, can you bring us the Blindfold, aka Ish Beanie? All right, so put that on.
All right, I guess I will do it. There you are, sir.
And now just kind of pull that down over your face and flip the top down like this. There you go. Perfect. Can you see anything?
Nope.
Okay, great.
Not at all.
So now that you have the blindfold down, Dylan, do you own a Fender Stratocaster right now?
I do not.
Do you own a PRS Silver Sky right now?
I do not.
Any PRSs at all?
I don't.
Okay.
So I'm completely unfamiliar, actually.
Perfect. This is great. AJ, why don't you shuffle the two? Whichever one you want, really. I don't care. Sure. And Dylan, you will now get to experience playing with a blindfold, which, as we discovered with Mike, is more difficult than we thought. Go ahead and just stick it in his hands.
All right. I think I've got it.
All right, and play whatever is on the top of your head. Nice. What pickup setting was that on?
I couldn't tell you. I kind of can't see it.
Okay.
Bridge and middle, or neck and middle.
All right, we are now going to go for the same pickup position on the next guitar. Now play the same thing on whatever this next guitar is.
Sounds good.
Neck, body.
Guitar.
It's guided meditation here. Okay. All right, hand it back to AJ. All right, so now, which guitar do you think was the first guitar? Do you think it was the Fender or the PRS?
I believe the first one was a Fender, just going off of the sonics. Because who doesn't know what a Stratocaster sounds like, right?
All right, pull up that blindfold. You can pull it up. You got it right!
Oh, yeah?
Woo!
Who would have thought?
Yeah, Mike, previously, he got it dead wrong, actually, so very interesting. So you said that was sonically, the Fender sounded more like
Fender
a Fender?
sounded like a Fender.
Right.
Yeah, it's just a sonic thing. The second guitar, which obviously we know now is the Paul Reed Smith, I could just tell by the spankiness of it. It just had a tone that the first one did not.
It's a little different.
Yeah.
Interesting. Let me ask you about the necks on the two of them. Without, obviously, you only played them a little bit. Did one feel better, worse, anything different?
Surprisingly, they were both comfortable.
Yeah.
Yep. I couldn't say that I noticed a difference.
Nothing jumped out at you.
I only had 2 seconds.
Of course. Of course. Cool. And with your 5-second brief playing, if you had to buy one for yourself, which would you pick?
Second one, hands down.
Really?
Yep.
Why do you say that?
Tone. I think if whoever's going to watch this video back, the playback, they'll see my head nod up. I instantly felt a little more mojo with the second one.
Interesting.
It just had like that single coil twang thing that, you know, I feel like I want from a guitar.
See,
So that's what spoke to me.
I really thought you were going to say the Fender because you identified it so quickly. But
That's kind of why it's, how do I say this without being rude?
be rude, as rude as you want.
That's what makes it not special, right? You know what it is.
Right.
It doesn't stand out.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point.
Yeah.
Very cool. So, Dylan, thank you so much for coming in and doing our weird test.
Absolutely.
We have a little gift from you from Ish Guitars.
Hey.
There is a Ish silent cable in there, as well as some strings. Those silent cables are awesome. They don't
Those are actually very useful.
pop. That's what we were just using here.
Can't wait.
And they're made right here in in-house, lifetime warranty, and you can buy them at the link in the description down below. So there you go. And the beanies for you to keep also, so you can rep your Ish.
Right on. Thanks Thanks a lot, guys.
All right, so now in a more controlled environment, let's put these guitars head to head, Jay. Give us a
Okay,
play.
Let's do it. We're just gonna go through all the positions on both of them, so.
Let's talk actually first about the neck feel, the neck profile, the neck.
Yeah, I mean, realistically,
What's it feel like different to you?
they don't, I can't tell much of a difference.
Interesting.
Not really. I mean, this one, like, they're both pretty much that real light, like satin. Mm-hmm. So I can't.
Similar profile?
Yeah, it almost feels like the SE is a little rounder. It's like a little fatter.
Yeah.
It's not something that I would even. I didn't even really think about it too much.
Technically, the SE profile is a little bit. It's more like a vintage Strat.
That's yeah. It feels
And this
like
this is what is called a modern C.
Yeah, modern style.
So this is a little tiny bit like slimmer, more modern of
Yeah.
a neck
Yep.
profile, where this is a little bit more vintage. But I agree with you. It's
not
surprisingly
really-
small. I wouldn't.
I'm not relatively. Picky
I'm also
with
not
necks.
super picky about necks either.
So
So we
take that-
might have terrible recommendations.
Yeah, they definitely
on
feel a little
that.
different. But you're right. This has more of that vintage, and I don't want to say baseball bat because it's not that type of neck. But when you think
Yeah,
about
a
that,
little rounder.
it's a little bigger.
Cool.
I don't think there's necessarily one versus the other is like, oh, this plays 9 million times easier than the other one per
Interesting.
se. So
Anything else that you noticed about it just off the top of your head?
I think we can all agree the electronics are way different sounding.
Different sounding is a good word for it.
Different sounding. And it depends on what you're going for. You know what I mean? Like, if I was to sit at home and play guitar with no other guitars in a group or in a studio session, I'm taking that every time.
Yeah.
Because it has way more low end to it. It sounds more balanced. I mean, I know we went and matched pickup heights and all that between the two, and that's something to be said for at least the height of it. This is a lot brighter. Maybe there's a time and place for it.
I will give it that, is that if you want that super bright
Super
Strat
twang.
sound,
Yeah.
then you really, I'm sure you can get it with
But
the
it's-
PRS
it's
if you
not
want
the
to tweak your
same.
amp and stuff, but
It's
it's
not
not the same, and that does have it.
And that's why it's a Fender. I mean, it has that Fender
It's
smack,
very,
that
very
real
Fender.
whack to it.
Now, the one thing I will mention, of course, elephant in the room, is that this guitar has a maple fretboard,
Yep.
and this one has rosewood.
Yep.
They do make these guitars with a rosewood fretboard for the same price. We couldn't get one in time.
Yeah.
We had to make this video super fast, and we just couldn't. There was no way we were going to be able to get one with all
Yep.
the COVID shortages. So that's something to take into account too. But generally maple's going to
That's
sound a
A
little
little
bit.
smackier.
Yeah, sometimes it can actually roll off the top end, believe it or not, which is
Yeah.
kind of crazy how bright that is considering. But also it can make it a little bit more poignant of a sound, I think also too. Yeah, smackier kind of is a way to say it, a little more attack. So take that into account, obviously.
I mean, but this is something that a general person out there would run across at a store. You're going to see it at your local wherever.
This is a great guitar.
Yeah.
It really is. So let's talk about this. Quality between the two of these guitars. Honestly,
They're not much
there's
different.
very, very few differences. Just general quality control. Both of these are fantastic. You're talking Mexico versus Indonesia, of course. This guitar, when we picked it up, I do have to say that the fret ends were a little bit
Yeah.
sharp, and we've had quite a few of these through the shop, our repair shop recently, and most all of them have had a little bit of sharp frets.
Yep.
And that's not
A
necessarily
lot, right.
a problem with the guitar, though. If the store that was bought from
It
doesn't
hung
have
out
humidity
forever,
control,
it was
which
dried
most
out.
stores don't, we do, a lot of stores don't, especially Guitar Centers don't, then a little bit of dried out, it's the winter time right now, it's January. So that's not really a big ding on this at all.
But it's a point to make.
But
right?
otherwise, they both are very, very similar, very high quality, very impressive, Mexican-built guitar and very impressive Indonesian-built guitar. They really,
I'd be-
really rival their American brothers.
I'd be
They
really
do.
curious to see this in a player situation, like in a gig, and see the tuners and how they survive.
I would be interested too. So the tuners are a bit different. The Silver Sky has very nice tuners.
Yeah.
It does. They're basically the same as its USA counterpart, just without the lock on it. If you want to see every full in-depth difference of this guitar to its USA, by the way, description
right below.
link below is going to have all of that, where we literally tear both guitars down completely.
I think the stability in general, at least from what I noted when we were just tuning them up and playing them, in general, this one had better tuning stability.
Yeah.
But-
Yep. Little bit better.
And who knows? I hate string trees. I hate those.
I'm not a fan of string
don't
trees.
Help. I don't think they ever.
There's a lot of physics that go into a headstock that we won't get into now.
Yeah, but-
that all these strings, when you look down the edge of the headstock, there's strings that are going this way and this way and this way, and that's very bad for tuning. And Fenders have always been known for that, and that helps create some dead spots and things.
That's not even to discredit this guitar at all.
One thing, again, I do really like this guitar. I love this color
Yeah, can we
too.
get this? Come on, PRS.
Oh my God.
Put this color on this
Beautiful.
guitar.
It's the tortoise
Please.
guard. It's that tortoise, and then the
No, it's
white
the pink.
pickups. It's just
It's the
perfect.
pink.
Now here's the one thing I'm going to shout at Fender for that I hate about this guitar. It's that stupid freaking tremolo arm. The screw-in tremolo arm.
You want it to be fixed?
No, I want it to be like a PRS.
Oh, the slot. Okay.
The
Deal.
PRS, you just,
Deal.
it has a tightening collar, and you just slide that bar in and you slide it back out. No big deal. You can adjust the tension on it. That thing, when I put it in before this video, it takes you to put it in, and then you can't ever get a consistent tension, and then it flops around. It's such a pain in the butt. And these bridges are actually relatively similar otherwise.
What's one thing you hate about this guitar then? You got to be even. I know what my vote is, and it's just a personal thing.
Give it to me.
I hate the flat matte tuners.
Everybody,
I hate it.
So many people hate those. John Mayer, if you're watching, if you can comment and tell us why you did that, I would genuinely be really interested to know, because it's the same as the USA guitar.
I hate
They're
that.
the same way.
But
they have a nice tactility to them if you don't want to like slip. But how often do you
I think
slip off your
just-
tuner?
It looks goofy, but
Yeah, it's a little funny. This one I actually really dislike the truss rod cover, believe it or not. The truss rod cover on the USA looks completely different. It's just a silly little thing, but
we're getting to the nitpicky stuff.
I know.
about
Now we're
guitars.
just getting rude here.
Right.
But anyway, both these guitars are genuinely a great option.
It just depends on what sound you want. I mean, that's really.
It's tough to get away from me from the sound of these pickups.
I think inherently.
But it's also tough to get away from just the proper Fenderness. I get it. I totally get it. So, any questions about these two, feel free to comment below. Give us a call, because we'll have both of these guitars around. We have these guitars for sale. We're giving this exact guitar away, actually. If you go in our video link below, you'll see all of another video and all the instructions how to do that. And either way, buy one of these.
And that ends in the end of the month.
January 31st. Subscribe, share, like this video, and let us know how we can help. See you guys.
I like this guitar.
It's kind of surprising, isn't it?
It is, yeah. This is an $800 guitar.
$849.